Greetings everyone, Joseph James here, SchoolOfTrade.com, May 4th, 2010, a Tuesday, second day into a brand new month. Here's your live trading recap. What a wonderful day in the room today, guys. Another day, almost quadruple digits again in the room this morning. We'll go over that in a second. Want to remind you guys about the blog we have. Our blog has a great search box on it, guys, so if you go to the blog, the link is right below the video. If you're watching this video right now, the link for the blog is right below the video. Click on that. If you want anything from speed trading articles to our YouTube channel, right, how to follow us on Twitter, how to take the quizzes, and of course our easy money trades, just search for them right there in the blog search box. And while you're there, guys, don't forget, subscribe to the blog so you get all the new updates every time they're put out there. 2, 4, 5 total trades today. I only took the scalps today. I didn't get into any wave trades today. We'll talk about that in a second. This is our second day, though, back-to-back winning days here of over $700 in the room. As always, you know, we're shooting for that $700 a day on only 4 contracts. So make sure you guys come out, stick with us throughout the rest of the month. We'll keep you guys posted. As you can see, we had one little scratch trade there before 9 o'clock there on gold. And all the trades were on gold today. Kind of didn't really realize that until we got a little bit later on in the morning. We finished up with everything on gold this morning. 79 ticks, 790 USD. That brings us to $1,500 for the week so far. Having a great week, great month. We'll keep you guys posted. What's the most important that happened today? Well, of course, yesterday was a bank holiday. So we were coming in the day after the holiday. We really didn't know what to expect. We could have seen a lot of speed, not much speed. The news came out, though, this morning at 3 a.m. Eastern Time, something regarding, as day traders, we very rarely know exactly what news causes what. And that's one of the beauties of our trade room is we stay very focused on the only things we need to know to make money, right? Trying to figure out what was the catalyst that moved this thing down at 3 a.m. is a waste of time. All we know is at 8 o'clock this morning, when we began trading, things had flattened out after this big, steep drop, right? Crude dropped over $3 a barrel today. I mean, pretty big drop. Gold dropped, I think, what, $12, something like that today? So it was a big drop across the board in commodities. The euro was plunging. The dollar was hitting the roof, breaking new highs. So even though we didn't know what exactly had caused it, we walked in, opened up our charts 8 o'clock, and we saw what appeared to be a somewhat tired and exhausted market after dropping since 3 a.m. So a good 4 or 5 hours of straight down. And we, of course, had to then wait for the price action to pick up. If you guys recall, when we opened up our charts this morning, we were a little bit disappointed because we thought maybe we had missed this big move. We were, of course, a little premature for that disappointment because it soon picked up there. But we had to wait for that to pick up, right? And that was the big thing here. We woke up this morning, we saw things very tired, very sleepy, right? Very quiet. Now, what was the big thing that gave us the heads up that we're probably going to see things change real soon? At 8 a.m. this morning, we saw a tired market. What changed our mind, or what gave us a heads up that we probably will start seeing things moving quickly? It was the dollar. And let's always begin our day on the dollar, symbol DX. This is the 610 contract. I'm using a slower time frame here. This is a 34 range. You could use a 20-minute, 30-minute. You could use a 1,000 volume chart. There's a lot of things you can do here with a slower time frame. But on the dollar, you can see we have this big, strong trend up here. Right now, the dollar this morning breaking above its highs, okay, continuing with that trend we saw started yesterday, confirmed for us this morning that we're probably in the mood to see some good price action today. Right? It wasn't a sideways market. The dollar was moving. We didn't have very much speed at 8 o'clock this morning, but we definitely saw the price action looking just like this, and that told us with the dollar moving, we're probably only going to be a little bit of time here until we start seeing the rest of these markets move, and that's exactly what happened. Now, we didn't take a DX pattern today. We looked for it, obviously. A little bit late in the morning, 10 o'clock this morning, actually midway through the morning here, we noticed the euro and the dollar were setting up finally for that DX pattern long on the euro. Left-hand side, you've got your euro, that's the 6E. Right-hand side, you've got the dollar, that's the DX. We've got the dollar at new highs. We've got the euro at its lows. Right, there's your double bottom on the euro. We've got double top on the dollar. And as you guys know, we're going to look at the dollar, of course, to break through support. We've marked up this box here below 83,150. That was the support level we defined on the dollar, 83,150. And the next level support was down bottom here at 83 even. So we knew we had a good, right, 0.150. Okay, what is that? Divide that by 0.005, and that will give you guys how many ticks that is, right? So it's about, what is it, about 70 ticks there? Something like that. Nice big drop, plenty of room to go. So we knew we had enough room in the dollar to drop. If we had enough room in the dollar to drop, Yeah, back to the euro. That means in the euro, we had enough room on the euro, right, to launch. Now, one thing we noticed is 3084. 3084 was the level we wanted to get above on the euro before we took that trade, right? That made sure we got above some previous levels of resistance. So 3084 we were waiting for. We never got it, though. Right, we never got it. What happened? The dollar broke its highs. The euro continued to plunge down towards that 1.3 thousand big round number, and we were sitting on our hands waiting for the next pattern. So you can see here, we were looking for the DX pattern this morning. Didn't see anything set up, of course, but hey, you know what? That's 1 out of the last 10 days we haven't seen this thing move. It's a great compliment, though, because on a day like today, it was a trending environment. So in a trending environment, we're not going to see the DX pattern set up as much. We're going to see the wave. We're going to see the breaker. We're going to see the two-step. So it's a perfect complement to our methodology. In sideways, choppy ranges, the DX pattern will be a great moneymaker for us. But in a day like today, where we see large trending, right? Trending moves, dollar moving up, euro moving down, crude moving down. We're not going to see this dollar pattern. We're not going to see the DX setup because we're not going to get those double tops that are going to hold. So because of that, we look for our other patterns, guys. This is a universal methodology. There should never be a time in the day when we can't find a way to profit on it unless the price is going flat. So we look for the DX pattern here, guys. Didn't get into it. Our first trade of the day, though, was on gold here. All 5 of them here, guys, on gold this morning. We took a couple real big winners here, and we'll go over those for you guys right now. Here on gold, we've got the 3 back-to-back trades here. Now, we were fortunate enough at the beginning of our morning to get a nice big pad to our account before we went to the U.S. Open at 9:30. The first trade here on gold was a breaker pattern long. Now, in this case, we broke above the red line. We were trading into the high of day, so we had to see green pace of a tape, which we got. And then, of course, we had at 850 here on the gold, 91.8 was the fill. We got our +4 target filled, our plus, right? Obviously, move the stop up to entry, so we didn't get the second target filled. You can see right here, give us a little bit of a jump up and then curled right back down. So we got our first profit target filled to +4, stop to entry +1, and then we got bounced out at entry +1 for 10 ticks or 100 USD. Then, of course, the next trade here, remember, here's your high of day. Right, here's your high of day. We're going to bounce off the high of day here, looking for a reversal now off this high of day. Right, and of course, at this point, we had, right, follow me down here, lower right-hand corner. We had very slow speed, right, very slow speed here, guys, around that time. So around that time, very slow speed, and we wanted to make sure we saw enough emphasis, right, enough push down here to get this trade taken. We had enough to get it started. We had some big sellers, right? Decent speed, wasn't that great. Some big sellers, though, came in and got us into the trade. Now, once we saw these big sellers get in, we didn't see very much happen. In fact, if you guys were with us this morning, we kind of sat there for about 10 seconds, scratching our heads, wondering when this price is going to drop. Then all of a sudden, the MACD shifted above the 0 line, momentum curled up, and since we hadn't gone anywhere, we flattened our position for an early exit or a scratch trade. Okay, so this second trade of the day here was a scratch. So we had 10 ticks off the first move, no ticks off the second move, right? Knowing when to get out of those trades are just as valuable as knowing when to get in. You can see it chopped around here for quite a bit. And then this third move, you can see, I want to point myself down here, guys. Notice this big, right, this big, strong move up in speed. Guys, those big, strong improvements in speed there are always what we look for, right? See how it goes from red to yellow speed? That increasing speed gives us that confidence we need now. Back here to my point of entry, we're coming back to the downside now. There's my swing low, break below that swing low, and there's, of course, your third trade there, back to back to back. 915, breaker pattern short, 89.7. We got +4 filled, 2 off at 4. 1 off at 15, and then 1 off at 11. Okay, so our mechanical rules get us into these trades correctly, and then we use a simple strategy of managing those trades to lock in this case, 34 ticks on that third trade of the morning.